Good evening, my fellow gamers, and welcome back to another newscast. And yes, as I stated before, we are following the Xbox Game Showcase that was live on Sunday, June the 9th. And what an awesome event that was. It was absolutely awesome. And it was on for about an hour and a half. Obviously, this video is going to be trimmed right down, but we are going to go through all the games that was announced, and we're looking at around 30 games or about 25 games with some added content or additional content for other games. So a lot of games were shown here for this year and next year, so that was really good. On top of that, we do have some hardware to talk about. Only briefly though, not too much. Maybe some of you might be a little bit disappointed in that, but otherwise we're going to get the video rolling with the hardware anyway. So let's talk about the new consoles. Yes, 3 new consoles were announced today. I say 3, it's not really 3 new consoles. They're pretty much the same thing, just different specs basically. So what we have is on the left side there, we've got the all-digital Xbox Series X. Now, that is something I've been waiting for. I've been running on the Xbox One for, well, since it released. And I'm an all-digital fan. I prefer digital. I don't like physical. I haven't bought a physical disc. I think the last one was Destiny. Yeah, the original Destiny. And I still needed several updates to that running. So I don't buy physical copies. But I know there's a lot of people out there that do. So that is totally fine. But now there's an all-digital one. Comes in a 1 terabyte. And it comes in white. I love the white series because my whole PC setup is all sort of a white build, a white custom build that I built myself. So this sits nicely with all that. That suits me down to the ground. Obviously, it doesn't suit everyone, but that's just my take on it. So we've got the Xbox Series X in white, 1 terabyte SSD, all digital. Nice. That is what I'm going to go for. Now, in the middle, there's a few questions surrounding this one because everyone's like, well, ain't the Series S already white? Yes, it is. So it's all digital, of course. It's the Series S, of course. The only difference is, yes, it's white, but this one is 1 terabyte SSD, whereas you can only get the white in 512, as far as I'm aware, 512 gigabyte. So I believe you can only get the Series S in carbon black if you want the 1 terabyte SSD. So they're basically just introducing a white 1 terabyte. I think they're actually discontinuing the carbon black one, so if you are in the market for one of those, you might want to grab those ASAP. And then finally on the end there, we have the special edition Xbox Series X. This one has, the only difference with this one, it has the 2 terabyte SSD, and it has the fancy paintwork with all the, I think it's got silver and green like specks of paint all over it, and along with the controller as well. You ain't going to be able to buy any of these separately. Whilst it is special edition, it is limited, so they're not going to be on sale forever. There is going to be a limited edition. That kind of reflects on the price as well. So the Series X is going to be something like $500. No, $450, I believe. Sorry, $450. However, that's going to convert over to the UK money. To £450. It doesn't actually convert like your normal currency. Whatever it is in dollars, it turns out to be in pounds over here. Yeah, we get screwed over with that one a bit. The Series S, I believe that's a little bit cheaper, about $150 cheaper. Can't remember the price on that exactly, but I will put them up on screen for everyone to see. And then the worst of all is the special edition Xbox Series X comes in at a hefty $600. Which means £600, so whether it's worth it or not, I do not know. But I am going to be going for the all-digital white Series X on the left side there. So that suits me down to the ground. What your opinion on that is, let me know in the comments below. Let's talk more about that in the comments. That is the only hardware that was announced. We didn't see any more of the new controller, so nothing's been announced on the new controller yet. That is probably going to come with next-gen stuff. Microsoft have said they are working on the next gen consoles pretty hard, so they're not too far away. You're still going to be waiting at least a couple of years, I think, but they're not too far around the corner, so probably going to see that new controller with them as well, but no news on that during this show. And then also a lot of you guys have been waiting on a handheld device from Microsoft, and they did say previously that they're not going to be doing a handheld right now, but there definitely is a market for it. And I believe the latest news coming in today or yesterday, they did say they have started work on a handheld device, so they're coming onto the scene with that as well. I'm not sure how I feel about that personally. I have been looking at the Steam Deck myself because I'm a big Steam guy. But when I think about it, I'm not really going to use it. If I'm outside of my home, I haven't got time to sit and play games, so I'm usually like busy doing something. It's only when I'm at home I'm gaming, so you know, for the most part, I'll have my console and my PC, so there's just no need for a handheld device as well. But it might be cool. We'll see what happens with that one. But that's it for the hardware. Now let's move on to the games and let's start the ball rolling with the big one. Let's go. So first up we have Call of Duty Black Ops number 6. And yes, this one's being done by, I believe it's Raven Software, is it? And Treyarch. And oh man, it looks like they've improved this massively. And guys, I do urge you to go and check out the proper video of this because the soundtrack is effing awesome. It's Firestarter by The Prodigy, and they are one of my all-time favorite groups. I've seen them live many times. And yeah, it just sits really well with this video, so I urge you to go check that out. I won't play it on my channel because of copyright issues and all that, blah, blah, blah. But this time round, they have improved the movement, a lot more stuff going on with the movement. You can duck, dive, weave, all this stuff. I do urge you to have a look at the, they did a half-hour showcase, or roughly around half-hour showcase at the end of the Xbox event. So I urge you to check that one out if you're into Call of Duty and you'd like to see more. They go a little bit more in-depth about things and show you what they've done to the new game. But this one is going to be day one on Game Pass, which is damn awesome. It's going to come with all the expansions as well, and including beta access. So do check that one out. And another big feature is they're bringing back zombies. They are bringing back the round-based zombies, which everybody loved, including myself. So yes, looking forward to that one. That's Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and that will be on all platforms on October the 25th. And again, just a reminder guys, it's coming day one on Game Pass, so make sure you subscribe. Alright, now for the next one, which is, well, equally as awesome, if not better. And that is Doom the Dark Ages. Yes, they finally announced this one. Obviously, a lot of rumors were going out about this one. But it's here, and I am super chuffed because this is one of my favourite franchises of all time. I did cover the previous Doom Eternal and 2016. I've done a couple of big guides on those on my Steam profile. You can check those out. You can see them if you're into the previous games. But yeah, this looks badass, and the Doomslayer just looks better than ever. Looks like we're getting some new weapons on this one. And some new enemies at the same time. Look at that badass shield, and I just love the outfit of the Slayer. This is going to be really, really good. I'm looking at... It looks like there's going to be an open world in this one. You'll see a bit later on in the video. But yeah, I'm absolutely looking forward to seeing what they bring to the table with this one. And yes, we're going to be covering all of this on the channel. I'm going to do huge guides on this one, written and also video. And yes, we're going to be covering all the achievements as well, so stay tuned for those ones. Subscribe to keep a check on this, and look, it just looks awesome. I just love the universe of Doom. It's amazing, and id Software just do an absolutely epic job every single time. Honestly, can't fault them what they've done. They've never let the Doom series down, that is for sure. So stay tuned for that one. That is coming sadly in 2025, but nonetheless, it gives us something to look forward to in the near future. So yes, Doom the Dark Ages. On with the next game. So next up we have State of Decay 3. Yes, it continues on. The journey will continue through zombie slaying. The previous two, State of Decay 2, I couldn't get along with. It wasn't my sort of thing. I do like a bit of zombie killing here and there, but I'm not a fan of the third person perspective or over the shoulder perspective, whichever way you want to look at it. But that doesn't mean it's a bad game at all. That is just not my cup of tea. For you guys who do enjoy this sort of thing and did enjoy the previous 2 games, fantastic. Yes, I'm sure you're hyped for this one. A lot more zombie slaying coming your way. Again, it's made by Undead Labs, so nothing's going to change too drastic there. But I'm sure it looks really good, to be fair. The graphics look great. I can't complain about anything. And this one's Xbox and PC. It's not something I'm going to be covering on the channel unless we can get some quick and easy achievements on that one. So yes, we're not going to be covering this, but still you can continue to play it nonetheless. State of Decay 3 coming to a console near you soon. There is no release date on it, so we can only expect next year. It may be late this year, but as far as I'm aware, we've got no date, so may as well expect 2025 like most of the games, right? But yeah, that's coming very, very soon. State of Decay 3. So next in line we have the Dragon Age series, and yes, they announced Dragon Age Veilguard by BioWare, of course. This one will appeal to a lot of Dragon Age fans. It's not a game I have played in the series. Or should I say, I've not played the Dragon Age series at all, so I can't really respond to how well this might compare, but graphically it looks brilliant from the cinematics. I know we haven't really seen gameplay on this, and there's none really in this video, but I'm sure it's going to be really good. The previous one, I think it was Inquisition was the last one, I can't quite remember. Again, it's not one I've played, so the graphics did look great on that from what I did see, and I'm sure this one's going to be even better, especially on the newer consoles and stuff. Again, it's published by EA, which sadly don't have the best of reputations, but I'm pretty confident with BioWare that they're going to put out something really good. And again, all the Dragon Age fans are going to be extremely pleased with this one. For those that are new to the series, basically this is just a single-player RPG, action-packed, magical, mythical type game. So yeah, one to definitely try out if you haven't already. And you'll be pleased to know this one's coming in fall of 24, so basically the last quarter of this year, which is awesome. We want to see games this year, of course. And this one will be on PC, Xbox, and I believe PlayStation as well, so stay tuned for that one. Awesome. So now we have the first of the DLC, and the first DLC for, you guessed it, Starfield. So Starfield is bringing its first DLC this year, and there's a whole lot more as well to come with that. I'm not sure what you think about Starfield. Briefly, I'll just go through a bit. Basically, I was one of those who played the game from launch. I did play a lot of the game, enjoyed it for the most part. But there was just something missing with the game. There's something I couldn't quite put my finger on. I think it was too big, basically. I think they should have populated one of the planets as best as they could, should I say, and then just added planets slowly in a single system rather than multiple systems with pretty much nothing on them, right? Just the same old buildings you come across, almost like the original No Man's Sky. I think they could have done better here, but nonetheless, they're still producing content, and they've just done a massive update as well, not too far back ago, a month or two ago, which did make improvements. I've not been on personally to witness any of that, but nonetheless, they've come forth with this new Shattered Space DLC, and this does look absolutely awesome. It looks like they've got a kind of a cult going on here. I love that dark theme. I love the cult theme when it comes to games. I do love what they're doing with this. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, and how long it's going to take to actually, get through this extra content. And it'd be nice to see where they're actually adding this as well. So planet looks very populated. It looks really cool. I love it. I love it. Maybe I'll jump back into it. I don't know. But if you're already playing on it, then awesome, you've got some extra content coming your way, and there's more, guys. There is a lot more, so check this out. They're going to be adding mods modifications, the creation store, is that what they call it nowadays? Whatever it may be. And from what I've been reading as well, there's a huge amount of space for mods, like 100 gigs worth of space for mods, which is massive. So that is going to be interesting. There we go, new locations, new gear, and it's all going to be on the new bounties as well. It's all going to be part of the creation system as well. There you go, custom content. That's what I'm talking about. This is what we want, and this is what Bethesda's good at, is allowing people to create custom content and bring it into the game. So that is going to be pretty awesome. The creation kit, that's what I was thinking of. Again, come in 2024. And then to continue on with Bethesda, we move straight on to Fallout 76. This is going to get its first map expansion on June the 12th, so that's probably today, depends when I release this video. But June the 12th, map expansion and the new season. This is going to be the first ever map expansion. It's called Skyline Valley. It's going to introduce Vault 63 and tons of other content, so do check out that. And of course, in 2025, it's going to bring a new character. It's going to allow you to play as a ghoul. I think that's purely from the TV series, which I do recommend you check out on Amazon. Fallout series, absolutely awesome. So that is coming early 2025 as the ghoul, but the content, the expansion, the new season, June the 12th, as you can see there. Absolutely awesome. So looking forward to that one. And now we have got a brand new game. This one's an interesting one. This one's called Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And the graphics look great. We will see a little bit of gameplay in this one. And this is an interesting one because it's a turn-based RPG. So I do like myself some turn-based games sometimes. But with the graphics, the quality of this one, it does look really good. This one's being made by Sandfall Interactive. Sadly not coming till next year. But still, we've got plenty of games to play this year nonetheless. So we've got something good to look forward to. And this one's coming to PC and Xbox. I don't believe it's on the PlayStation, but this does look interesting anyway. I'm definitely going to be checking this one out myself. And if you're into the old turn-based stuff, then might be something you want to look at as well. But yeah, I love the effects, love the graphics. Gameplay looks smooth. Yeah, it just looks really good. But we'll see how it turns out. Hopefully there's a nice amount of story to it, and yeah, something to look forward to. Can't complain at this one yet. I'm sure we'll find a complaint. It does look like Souls-like type thing, but I don't think it is. Again, it's turn-based, so a little bit different. All right, and then next up we have another brand new game. And this one's called South of Midnight by Compulsion Games, and this looks really good. This is another single-player action-adventure game, so great for those who enjoy the single players. Graphics look great, and I love the large creatures there. That fish looks amazing. There's also a hefty crocodile in this one. Again, single-player action-adventure. It's only on Xbox and PC. I mean, Xbox Game Studios are publishing this one, so naturally you'd think they're going to keep it on their platform. But yeah, maybe it'll come to PlayStation later on. I do not know. Hopefully this one's going to be on Game Pass as well. Maybe this one's something we can cover on the channel, cover the achievements, cover any secrets and other guides that are required. But yes, it does look really, really good. The graphics look superb. It's all down to the story, really. Is the story going to be interesting? Is the gameplay going to be interesting? The enemies certainly look interesting. You'll witness that right now. They look super cool, and I love how the environment changes as well. But how it's going to play out, I don't know. I mean, look at that. That looks pretty awesome. Combat looks well done as well. Fairly, straightforward, typical mechanics. But yeah, it looks really good. So I'm looking forward to this one. And again, guys, if you want to check out the individual trailers, the full-on trailers for these games, I'm going to link the full showcase below in the description and probably in the comments as well. So do check those individual trailers out as well, so you can see the full-on full-on effect that they have. Obviously, I can't play too much, especially with the audio due to copyright and stuff like that. So I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek. But yes, South of Midnight. Add it to your wish list, guys. Check it out. It looks good. Right, what we got next? And wow, we are literally wow. We are back with World of Warcraft, guys. And can you believe how much content this game has had? If you're not familiar with it, it's probably one of the, if it's not the best MMO ever made. It's pretty much second place to Elder Scrolls Online, but you know, that's a controversial story. But World of Warcraft set the bar from many years ago, and they keep producing content. And what you see here is basically the War Within DLC. And guess what, guys? It's coming on August the 26th, so right around the corner. You can get straight back into World of Warcraft. Myself, I've not played it, not been into World of Warcraft before. Maybe I should have, I don't know. But yeah, nonetheless, they're still producing content. No complaints whatsoever. So I would advise checking that one out for all you World of Warcraft fans. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, look how dark that looks. Something's going on. I don't follow the story of World of Warcraft, so I can't quite tell you what's happening. So I'm sure you all know what's going on if you play it. And yeah, the War Within DLC coming very, very soon. And now Konami are coming in, and they have got for us, guys, the Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. Yes, I believe this is a remake. We'll basically get to discover the origin story. I don't know, because it's a remake, it's not a remaster, it's a remake. I don't know how much they're going to change on this or how much they have changed on it, but it looks absolutely fantastic. The graphics look mint, absolutely mint. So yeah, it's a remake basically of the 2004 Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater game. So really looking forward to this one from Konami. Again, I do love the Metal Gear Solid games, and of course I used to love them as a kid as well. It was absolutely fantastic. So really looking forward to this one. Looking forward to seeing what they've done and how they've changed it. It just looks so good, right? I mean, the graphics look so good. Yeah, I'm hyped for this one. This one's coming to all platforms, so you'll be pleased to know you can play it on PlayStation, Xbox and PC. And guess what? It's coming this year. I don't think we have a solid date on it just yet, but it is coming this year. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. We're getting games this year that we can actually play, and this is what we want. So not only are we getting games for next year, we're getting games for this year. So it's going to keep us occupied, that is for sure. So Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater by Konami coming your way. And now we have more DLC, or should I say DLC? This is actually a new season for Sea of Thieves, season number 13. So if you have been churning through those seasons, you got another one on the way. I'm sure you're probably aware anyway. I'm sure it probably tells you in game. It's not something I've played. I played a tiny portion of it and I just didn't get along with it. But you know, it doesn't mean it's a bad game. It just means I'm a terrible gamer. But this one's Sea of Thieves, coming July 25th, again to all platforms. This one is Season 13. It's going to bring you a new world event and villain, and I'm sure some more story content as well, some more quests. I don't know how it plays out properly, so there's going to be a lot more content coming your way on July 25th. So mark that one on your calendar. Stay tuned for more. And now another game that I've had on my wish list for quite some time actually, and I'm actually questioning myself why. I'm not sure on this one, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing towards this game. I'm just wondering why, because this one is Souls-like, and I'm not very good at these sort of games. It requires a lot of skill and patience, and I've got neither. I've got neither. This one's called Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn, and this one's by A44 Games. And guys, as I've been saying in all the previous games, 18th of July this one's out. So you've got more content for this year. Like, how much content do you want? How many games can you get through this year? There's just, the time's dwindling. We want games now, but you know what? Sometimes there's too many games. So Yeah, I'm quite relieved that we haven't got all games this year because, you know, you're just not going to get time to play them all, especially if they're good, right? You want to stick to a game for a month or two at least, you know, if they're good. So, yep, this one's coming 18th of July on Xbox, PC, and it will be on Game Pass. I believe all the games are on Game Pass on this event. I could be wrong. Could be completely wrong, but I think most of them, if not all, are on Game Pass. And as you've just seen, these are the guys who made Ashen, so this is your action RPG Souls-like single player game. Something to look forward to, but we'll see how it plays out. You might like it, I don't think I will, but I'll still give it a shot, and we'll cover it if need be, if we can get some odd achievements in there, but we'll see how that one plays out. Now, this one was a bit of a surprise actually for me. I wasn't expecting this one. This one's Age of Mythology Retold. I'm not sure if this is like a remake or a remaster because the graphics don't look epic. They look good, but I don't think they look epic. But this is basically an RTS. It's basically gods, monsters, humans, all fighting against each other, and obviously it looks like you build your city, a typical RTS basically, but it looks a bit more laid back, a bit more casual, and it looks kind of interesting. Not completely sold on this myself, but it will be worth a little little teaser. This one's from the original creators of Age of Empires, and for anyone as old as me, I used to love the Age of Empires series when I was a kid. Oh man, spent hours and hours on there. So another RTS strategy. This one is again coming this year. So if this is your sort of thing, if you like these little games like that, September 4th is when this will release. So Xbox and PC only. I don't believe this is on PlayStation. Another one to look out for. That's Age of Mythology Retold. So this next game, this one's another old school game, or from an old school series I believe, and this one's called Perfect Dark. This one's by The Initiative. This one is coming to PC and Xbox only, I believe, and this is another sci-fi single player. I've never played the original, like I say. Maybe you have, so you probably know what it's all about. I don't know the story on this one, but graphics look really good. I'm not sure about the gameplay, but the graphics look really good. It reminds me of a bit like Watch Dogs. It's a lot of hacking going on, and I think I did play a tiny bit of Watch Dogs, but not too much. So I'm not sure how this one's going to play out. Maybe the storyline's going to be pretty good. Not sure the combat and the action. It does show you a little bit more in this video, and if Perfect Dark's always been your type of game, your type of series, I recommend watching the proper trailer for this one as well. Again, it looks so good, right? But again, when you look at games in events, they don't tend to come out the same way. So yes, another one to look forward to. There's no release date on this one, so unsure when this one's actually going to come out. I'm going to guess next year. You know, they don't want to put too much out this year, and usually when it hasn't got a date on it, it usually means it isn't coming anytime soon. So that can join the next year club, right? The next year. But we'll see. Maybe they'll surprise us with an early release. A little bit of wall running there. Did you see that? But it looks good nonetheless. I will give this one a try. Maybe it's one we can... another one we can add to the list for achievements and stuff. Add a few guides. You never know. We'll see what it looks like. But it looks really good. Yeah, I'm loving the fact that these graphics are looking great, especially with the new console. Especially when I get my new console, when I get that white one. I'm looking forward to a Series X. I'm still stuck on an X1 here, guys. Come on. But yes, that one is Perfect Dark. So another one to add to your wish list, and we'll see that. I don't know when we're going to see it. Maybe next year, but it'll be. It won't be too far around the corner, hopefully. But yeah, Perfect Dark. Now what we got is some more DLC, and this one's coming straight out of hell, guys. This one's Diablo 4: The Vessel of Hatred DLC. And guys, I have to say, Blizzard are the absolute kings when it comes to cinematics. They just make the best cinematic. I don't know who who does all this, but all of their games, Blizzard specifically, their cinematics are just second to none. Like, it's so realistic, the best you're going to see, and this, it's just great. Words can't describe. I would advise checking back on lots of their other games and check out the cinematics on them. They're so good. And the thing I loved about Diablo 4, they made probably one of the best trailers for the game, best release trailer for the game I've ever seen. By 3 they come, or by 2 they come, something along those lines. Yeah, I advise checking that one out. It is so good. Now, as for the game, I played a lot of the game. Didn't reach max level or anything like that. I stopped before season 1. I just didn't really enjoy the end game too much. There wasn't really much of end game other than the nightmare dungeons, which I did enjoy to a degree, but I just ran impatient and just stopped playing it, and again haven't been back. It's kind of sad really, because you know, Starfield, Diablo 4, I bought both of them. Even Battlefield 2042, whatever it's called, again bought them on release and just stopped playing them after a short while. I expected a little bit more from them. Obviously a lot of these games have improved. Diablo is still churning out content, people are enjoying it. It's a great game, and look how dark it is. These cinematics, it's insane, and I love this dark evil theme. I'm not an evil guy, but these evil demonic themes, like I was saying earlier in the games, with these like cults and stuff like that, so good. But yes, Festival of Hatred, of course, this is on all platforms. You will see this on October the 8th. I don't know what it's bringing. It doesn't tell you too much. Those of you that are actually playing the game, you might see more in-game. But yes, this looks so dark, man. So dark. I love it. Now, for this next one, we go back once again to another old series, and this one's Fable. And this one's by Playground Games. It's another single-player adventure, but it's basically a brand new beginning to the franchise. So there's going to be way more games being made for this one. And it looks great. Cinematics look, you know, cutscenes, whatever you want to call them. They look great. Graphics look great. How it plays, who knows? I don't know. I've never played the Fable, so not sure how this one's going to work again with all the older games. Sadly, this one's not coming until 2025. So if you are a Fable fan, you are going to have to wait a little bit. Well, I say a little bit. It could be a year's time. Hopefully you don't have to wait so long, but it's coming next year anyway, and this one's going to be on PC and Xbox. So yeah, for you Fable fans out there, you've got a new series of games coming your way very soon, so stay tuned for more of those ones. Now we switch back onto the multiplayer scene, and this one's called Fragpunk. This one's coming next year as well, 2025. This one's by Bad Guitar Studio. This one's a free-to-play, and whilst I don't criticize the MOBA scene, but it's not as popular as it used to be. So 5v5 mayhem, only this time this adds like power cards where you can use these cards to like change the scene or change your enemies, things like that, just to make it all funky and fun. As you can see what's going on here, like the graphics just look awesome, and yeah, you can change a lot of stuff. So it may change the scene a bit. And again, this one's free to play. This one's on PC and Xbox, so we'll see how this one plays out. It looks good nonetheless, but we'll see in the long run. And this one is pretty much one for the children. This one's called Winterboro by Pine Creek Games, and this one is coming to Xbox and PC in Q1 2025. It's basically a single-player survival game, and as you can see, it's a bit more friendly for the children out there, a bit more friendly for your kids, or maybe just something you like to sit back and relax and play. Again, this one's going to be a single-player survival. I don't really know how harsh this one's going to be in terms of a survival game, but it looks pretty relaxing, looks pretty laid back. And it might be something you like. And the art style is pretty good, actually. Considering you play a tiny little mouse, the art style's really well done. So something you might enjoy, something you might like. If you do, check that one out. Again, that one's Winterboro, coming Q1 2025. And now we continue on the younger audience, I would say. This one's called Mixtape, and basically this one's a single-player adventure. It's basically where you play through a mixtape of memories with 3 of your friends on the last night of high school, so you can kind of get an idea of how this one's going to play out. It seems to be based a lot around music, and this one actually does feature some well-known musical artists on the soundtrack and stuff, such as Iggy Pop, which it should show you very soon actually, which is pretty cool. A lot of well-known artists on that one. This one's coming again 2025. This one's by Beethoven and Dinosaur. Xbox and PC only. Probably not my sort of thing. I like the graphic style, the art style, but kind of unique with the graphics. And there you go, there's the music as well. Iggy Pop, Banshees, Joy Division, and more. So yeah, quite an interesting lineup in terms of music and stuff. How the story plays out, nobody will know until we actually play it. Not something I'm going to jump into, I don't think, but something you might like. So yeah, want to check out Mixtape, check it out. And now we soar to the skies with the next iteration of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. This one's coming out on November the 19th, and of course adds a ton of content. And if you've never played this or you've never seen it, this has probably got the most expensive amount of DLC I've ever seen. It's got insane amount of DLC, and it costs thousands, I believe, to collect it all. But if you're into planes and stuff, then it doesn't matter. That's all that matters is you're enjoying the content that comes. But this looks good. I mean, I haven't really sat and played this myself. Not into these sort of simulator flying farming games. Other than Goat Simulator, that's the one, right? But yeah, this looks pretty cool. They've added new stuff, new content, VIP chart art. Yeah, I mean, it looks amazing, man. It looks super realistic. Yeah, quite impressive, I must say. This one's obviously PC and Xbox only. Again, this one's coming on November the 19th, so take a look at that one if you're into your aircraft and stuff. So yeah, worth checking out. And now we step foot into the world of Elder Scrolls, one of my all-time favorite universes, series, whatever you want to call it. And we're celebrating 10 years this time. 10 years of Elder Scrolls Online, that's crazy. I would say catching up with World of Warcraft, but that still continues. We are actually going to be stepping foot into this new expansion, and this one's called Gold Road, on all platforms, releasing on June the 18th. And yes, the channel, I'm going to be covering this. We're going to be stepping foot back into Tamriel, and we are going to be doing some content on the Gold Road, so stay tuned for that one. But yes, more content just being churned out by these guys. These guys are relentless. And who knows how much longer this game's going. Is it going to go 20 years, 30 years? Who knows? But that is coming very, very soon, June the 18th. And now we have another one in the series that's quite familiar. And this one's Life is Strange Double Exposure by Deck 9 Games. This one's coming to pretty much all platforms, Xbox, PC, and PlayStation on October the 29th. If you haven't played this, it's basically a single player adventure, and again, this is another one I've not played. Obviously not this one, but any of the previous titles. But this is quite a popular one. It had I think it had all good reviews in the past, maybe even some awards on this one for the Life is Strange series. But this one's one to look out for. This is basically where Max finds her friend dead, and then she's got these like new powers where she can shift between two timelines and try and prevent the murder from actually happening. So graphically looks good as always, as all of these games on the showcase. Yeah, maybe something I'll delve into at some point. Again, I've not played the previous titles, but they seem to be quite popular, quite likable. So this is all about story, right? So you're just playing the story, that's all you're doing. If you're into story-based games, then this is probably going to be your cup of tea. So it might be something I can cover on the channel as well. You never know. Let me know what you think of this one anyway. If you played it, let me know thoughts on it. Yeah, and I might indulge myself. So Life is Strange Double Exposure, October the 29th, coming your way. And now we continue. And guys, yeah, I know we've had a lot of games that we've gone through right now, but there's still plenty more to go. We're not too far away from the end now, actually, but there's still a few more good games. I mean, they're all good today. Good games that we've got to go through. And as you can see in the background here, everyone's favorite adventure guy, right? Indiana Jones, man. Indiana Jones. So, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, this one. This one's by Machine Games, published by Bethesda. And guess what? This one's coming this year. And the one thing I do like about this, they've kept Harrison Ford as the main guy. You know, a lot of games would switch and change characters and make them look similar, but just be completely different. And I believe he does the voice as well. I'm assuming they've hired him to do the voice for this as well. It's quite accurate nonetheless. But this one's set in 1937, and yeah, it'll do everything Indiana Jones usually does. Is, you know, goes on these wild adventures. This one's something to do with some ancient power connected to the Great Circle, and Indiana Jones has got to go on his mission to stop all the bad guys getting this power, I guess, and doing bad things. You know, the typical story, but it looks really good. The graphics look absolutely amazing. So, really looking forward to actually trying this one out. I think I have actually got this on my wish list. So, one to look out for. Again, this one's coming this year. I don't think we've got a solid date on it yet. And this one is Xbox and PC. So, yes, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. And now we're going to move on to something a little bit more chaotic. And this bad boy is Mecha Break. One coming in 2025, made by Amazing Season. This one's all platforms, and this is basically a multiplayer mecha. There's no single player on here as far as I'm aware. But yeah, this is like a giant mech battling thing. It just looks like absolute madness. But it looks like tons of fun nonetheless. Something I possibly would play. Not sure whether it's your cup of tea. But look at that, it just looks like absolute chaos, and it's magnificent. Yeah, this looks like it could be a ton of fun. So look out for that one in 2025. Again, we've not got no solid date. And but yeah, all platforms this one, so no matter what you're on, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, it's going to be available for all of you guys. I don't know whether it's cross-play or anything like that. There's no details given on that. I mean, if you look more in depth into this game specifically, you may find way more information than I can give you. But yeah, that looks a good one as well. Mecha Break coming 2025. And now we move on to another single player Souls-like game. This one's basically set during the Ming Dynasty, where you battle your way through some weird creatures, it looks like. Some crazy creatures, stuff like that. This one's coming to all platforms, and this one's called Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, and this looks really good actually. Another Japanese themed one though, so I'm not against any of those, but there's quite a lot of them, so especially on like the Sony showcase, I mean, naturally, right, there's a lot of these like Japanese themed games. The graphics are amazing, they always are, but I'm not always into them. I'm not really into this Souls-like thing, so not sure I'm going to be venturing onto this one myself, but this might be right up your street. This might be just what you're looking for. But again, the graphics do look great, don't they? The gameplay looks really good, but once again, that Souls-like theme is not for me. It is not for me. If I have to die multiple times, I will cry. But it looks good nonetheless. Definitely something you want to check out. And that one's called Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. Check it out. And that one's 2025, no set date, all platforms. Very, very good indeed. And now for this next game, I'm a little bit disappointed actually, because the way the trailer shows the game off, it looks a little bit more less a little bit more less looks a little bit less realistic than what I anticipated. I thought it was giving you that realistic effect from the previous trailers and stuff, or I mean from the limited amount that I have seen. But unfortunately, this one kind of shows you, it makes it look a bit more cartoony, and I don't know. You might understand what I'm trying to say. But this one's basically Avowed from Obsidian Entertainment. That's those guys who made Outer Worlds, Grounded, Fallout New Vegas, all that stuff. So, you know, they know what they're doing, these guys. And it's basically a single-player fantasy RPG, which is what they do. But can you see what I mean by it looks so cartoony? And I was expecting something a bit more realistic. But this one's coming this year, nonetheless, 2024. Don't think we've got a solid date. Might be around the fall time. But this one's going to be Xbox and PC only. But yeah, it's something to look out for. I will try it out nonetheless. But let me know what you think of this one. What was your thoughts on this video? It doesn't look bad. The graphics look great, but again, not quite where I thought they'd be. But yeah, that's Avowed, guys. And now we've got a new game. This is by Rebellion. I believe Rebellion made the old Warriors game, if I'm right. The old Warriors game from years back. But they've made this one, and this one's called Atomfall. This is another one for next year. This one's going to be on all platforms. This one looks quite interesting. So it starts off like this scene in an old, it looks like what, an English village maybe, or a Russian village. Yeah, and it looks like a really old-fashioned game, but then you watch more into the trailer, and this thing goes like deep. It's quite interesting actually, and it actually looks really, really good. So, yeah, Atomfall, and basically it's like a post-apocalyptic sort of, I don't know, single-player action RPG. There seems to be a lot of RPGs coming, but you know what? I'm not complaining because I absolutely love RPGs. They're some of my favorite genres. So yes, it looks absolutely fantastic actually. It'd be interesting to see how this plays out, and again, everyone can get their hands on it. So 2025, look out for Atomfall. And now, as we come to the last few games, we're going to continue here with Assassin's Creed Shadows. Yes, another addition to the Assassin's Creed franchise, series, whatever you'd like to call it. There's actually a million of these games. I don't know how Ubisoft can produce games so fast. It's crazy, and so big. Like, it's not as if these are just tiny little games. But this one comes to all platforms on November the 15th. So yet again, guys, another game for this year, which is fantastic. This one is basically set in the world. In an open world. I almost said the world of Japan then. It's set in Japan, but it's an open world, and you're basically playing as your typical samurai or assassin, and you're pretty much doing the typical Assassin's Creed things, and that's it really. Yeah, I don't think there's really much difference brought to the table to previous versions, other than, you know, the setting and stuff and the theme, but it looks good. They always look good, and a lot of them are good. It's just not something I tend to play. And for me, like, if I do play these, I've got to play them all. Like, I've got to start from the beginning, but there's that many, you just haven't got time to catch up. But oh well. Assassin's Creed Shadows, so for you Assassin's Creed lovers, that is on the way. Again, November the 15th, so check that one out. Add that to your wish list. And then, yeah. Alright, let's move on to the next game. The last two games are coming, guys. The last two. Let's do it. And this one's actually an interesting one. This one's called Stalker 2. I never did play the first one, but graphically this looks brilliant. And this one's based around the Chernobyl exclusion zone, Ukraine, I believe, somewhere around there. As you can kind of tell, the theme is really good actually, dark and gritty and grungy, and yeah, I do like it. But the weird thing about this one is it seems to add a little bit of a sci-fi element to it. There's I think there's like a couple of zombies or something, and you'll see that electric ball or orb or whatever that's supposed to be. You got that kind of thing introduced into it as well, but it doesn't seem to ruin it. It still looks really, really good. So again, I've never played the Stalker series, so maybe something I could check out. And I haven't actually played a lot of these games that have been announced on this event, should I say. You might have noticed that But that's a good sign. That means I've got plenty to play, plenty to catch up on, plenty to check out. But yeah, this one looks really good actually. Again, I don't know too much else about it, but I always look for graphics and then I hope for gameplay. So that's the way I roll. But not everyone's like that. People just are not too worried about graphics and, you know, just want solid gameplay, which I get that. I totally get it. But yeah, Stalker 2 by GSC Game World. It's going to be on Xbox and PC. And it is releasing, you guessed it, this year, guys. September the 5th. So, again, even more games for this year. So, yeah, you know, those of us who complain about lack of games for the current year, we've got plenty to play at. And I think it's quite a steady amount that we've got. I think it's just enough to get us by. We've got, like, you know, Fallout and Diablo 4 DLC. We've got Metal Gear, Starfield DLC. Yeah, there's a lot to play for, and then obviously Call of Duty's coming as well. So quite a bit to go through this year, which is good. That looks awesome, by the way, that tornado. But yeah, let's move on to our final game then, the final announcement of the event. And let me know what you think below as well in the comments. Let's talk about this event, guys. So yes, the final game of the show. Can you tell what it is yet? Boom Shankar. There you go. Gears of War E-Day. Coming to the Xbox and PC. This one's possibly a prequel. It doesn't really show you much. It just gives you this trailer, this cutscene. No release date on this one. But nonetheless, you have a Gears of War on the way. I have played a few of them. They are pretty good. Again, it's not my sort of combat, that wall hugging type thing. I'm just not into that, but I probably will play this actually. Probably give them a good go. And this is going to be on Game Pass as well. They're all on Game Pass, so I'm sure most of these games are going to be on Game Pass day one as well. Well, I say day one. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, a lot of these are pushing for Game Pass, so expect them on Game Pass. Yeah, and that'll be pretty much it. But that's it, guys. That's the last game of the event, and we've been through a hell of a lot. It's quite a lot there. Something like, let me just get my notes here. 11 games this year, and then 6 add-on content. So 6 other games with add-on content, and then 11 separate games. And then we've got 13 for next year. I think Xbox covered all bases. Now, I know people wanted exclusive content, but personally, that's not the way forward in my opinion. Yours may differ, so do let me know what you think of all this, guys. Let me know what you think of the event. Let me know what you think of the individual games, the games overall. Let's talk about this event. Yeah, it was good. It was absolutely fantastic, so pretty impressed with that one. But that's it, guys. I'm going to get out of here, I think. I think that's long enough. I've been Carbon Carl, and this has been the Xbox Showcase. Hell yeah. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace out.